For over 2,000 years, the Bible has been far more than a religious book. It has crossed centuries, shaped empires, inspired revolutions, and laid the foundations of principles that still resonate today. From Genesis to Revelation, its pages hold stories that not only defined the faith of millions, but also profoundly influenced the course of human history. But how did a collection of texts, written across different cultures and eras, become a driving force that shaped civilizations? Today we're exploring 5 key moments from the Bible that changed the world forever. From the giving of the 10 Commandments on Mount Sinai to the conversion of Constantine, each event marks a historical turning point that transcended time and boundaries. Before we dive into these transformative moments, let's first understand why the Bible remains so central and how it continues to serve as a cornerstone of society. The Bible is undeniably one of the most influential texts in human history. Composed of over 60 books, written across centuries, it records not just spiritual teachings but events, laws, and ideas that have profoundly shaped civilizations. For billions of believers, the Bible is a guide to faith and salvation, but beyond its religious significance, it serves as a historical document that echoes through time. It has inspired justice, guided cultural values, and offered answers to timeless moral questions that still challenge us today. In this video, we will uncover 5 pivotal moments from the Bible that not only transformed spirituality, but also left an undeniable mark on history. These are events where faith, culture, and the story of humanity collide in ways that still shape our world. Let's begin at the very start, with a narrative that sought to explain humanity's origins and still resonates as one of the most powerful stories ever told: the creation in the book of Genesis. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. With these opening words, the book of Genesis introduces one of the most profound and enduring narratives in human history: the creation story. It offers more than a religious account. It provides a vision of humanity's origins, purpose, and relationship with the divine. In a world of chaos, Genesis presents order. Across 6 days, God shapes light, earth, water, animals, and finally, human beings, created in His image. For ancient civilizations, this narrative brought meaning to life's greatest questions. Where do we come from? Why are we here? Far beyond theology, the creation story has influenced philosophy, art, and literature for millennia. Michelangelo's Creation of Adam, painted on the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel, captures the moment when God gives life to humanity, an image now iconic worldwide. Poets and thinkers have drawn inspiration from Genesis, reflecting on its themes of purpose and divine connection. This story continues to challenge and inspire, inviting us to consider a universe that is intentional, not accidental. It laid the foundation for a worldview that sees life as sacred and humanity as caretakers of creation. But if Genesis gave us a purpose, the next great moment established the moral principles that have shaped societies for centuries: the 10 Commandments. In the shadow of Mount Sinai, amidst a newly freed nation wandering the desert, a moment occurred that would reshape the moral foundation of civilizations: the giving of the 10 Commandments. Handed down to Moses, these 10 simple yet profound laws established a moral and ethical code that transcended religion and culture. Thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not steal, honor thy father and thy mother. These principles formed the backbone of justice and order. For the first time, laws emphasized personal responsibility and a higher moral standard that applied to everyone, rich or poor, king or servant. The 10 Commandments became a cornerstone of legal systems across the Western world. Their influence can still be seen today in concepts of justice, accountability, and equality under the law. Beyond their legal impact, they instilled timeless values that continue to guide individuals and societies toward coexistence and respect. Art and culture immortalize this event, from Michelangelo's sculptures of Moses to the dramatic scenes of the 1956 film, The 10 Commandments. The image of Moses descending from Sinai, holding the stone tablets, remains a symbol of divine law and moral clarity. With morality and justice now established, the next great moment reveals a time of unity, leadership, and legacy under the reigns of David and Solomon. Following the establishment of moral principles, the Bible introduces an era of unity and prosperity under the reigns of King David and King Solomon. This period marked a turning point, as Israel rose to prominence as a unified and influential kingdom. David's story begins with faith and courage. As a young shepherd, he faced Goliath, a giant warrior no one dared challenge, armed only with a sling and his trust in God. This victory symbolized more than physical strength. It reflected the triumph of faith over fear. David's leadership brought unity to the tribes of Israel and established Jerusalem as the political and spiritual capital. Known as a man after God's own heart, David also authored the Psalms, a collection of prayers and hymns that continue to inspire worshippers worldwide. The kingdom reached its golden age under David's son, Solomon. Renowned for his wisdom, Solomon solved disputes with remarkable insight, as seen in the famous story of two mothers claiming the same child. His greatest achievement, however, was the construction of the temple in Jerusalem. This magnificent structure became the center of worship and a symbol of divine presence among the people. The legacy of David and Solomon extends far beyond their time. Their leadership exemplified faith, justice, and the importance of building something greater than oneself. While David and Solomon built a unified kingdom, the next moment would introduce a teaching that redefined compassion, forgiveness, and the human heart: the Sermon on the Mount. On a hillside in Galilee, surrounded by crowds of followers, Jesus Christ delivered a message that would redefine ethics, compassion, and human relationships. Known as the Sermon on the Mount, Matthew 5:7, it was not just a speech. It was a radical call to live differently, to pursue a higher moral standard rooted in love, humility, and justice. Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. With these words, Jesus turned conventional values upside down. He exalted the humble, the merciful, and the peacemakers, challenging a world driven by power and revenge. Instead of an eye for an eye, Jesus preached forgiveness. Love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you. This teaching was revolutionary, emphasizing the power of compassion over conflict. At the heart of the sermon lies the golden rule: do unto others as you would have them do unto you, Matthew 7:12. This principle became a foundation for ethics, not only within Christianity, but also in philosophies and cultures worldwide. The Sermon on the Mount has inspired movements for peace, civil rights, and social justice. Leaders like Mahatma Gandhi cited its influence in their pursuit of nonviolence, proving its universal relevance. Artists and writers have immortalized Jesus' words, portraying him as a figure of unwavering moral authority. With the Sermon on the Mount redefining compassion and morality, we now move to a moment that changed the course of empires: the conversion of Constantine. In the early 4th century, the Roman Empire was fractured by internal conflict and religious persecution. Then came a moment that would alter history forever: the conversion of Emperor Constantine. In 312 AD, on the eve of the Battle of the Milvian Bridge, Constantine claimed to have seen a divine vision. A radiant cross appeared in the sky, accompanied by the words, "In hoc signo vinces," "In this sign you will conquer." Inspired by this vision, Constantine ordered his soldiers to paint the Christian symbol on their shields. Against all odds, his army achieved a decisive victory, and Constantine attributed it to the Christian God. The following year, Constantine issued the Edict of Milan, 313 AD, a decree that granted freedom of worship to Christians and ended centuries of brutal persecution. This was more than a political maneuver. It marked a shift that elevated Christianity from a marginalized faith to a dominant cultural force. Constantine's conversion paved the way for Christianity to become the official religion of the Roman Empire. Churches were built across the empire. The Council of Nicaea, 325 AD, defined key doctrines of the faith, and Christianity's influence began to spread across continents. Culturally and politically, this transformation was monumental. A faith once practiced in secret became the foundation of Western civilization, influencing law, art, education, and governance. Constantine's embrace of Christianity changed the course of history, merging the power of empire with the message of the gospel. These 5 moments shaped human history, but their influence didn't stop there. Let's reflect on how their legacy continues to impact our lives today. These 5 pivotal moments, from the creation in Genesis to Constantine's conversion, are more than events of the past. They reveal how the Bible has profoundly shaped the course of human history, influencing everything from morality to law, culture, and governance. The Ten Commandments introduced ethical foundations that still underpin modern legal systems. The Sermon on the Mount redefined compassion, forgiveness, and the value of human relationships, inspiring movements for peace and justice. The leadership of David and Solomon demonstrated the importance of faith, unity, and building for future generations, while Constantine's conversion marked the beginning of Christianity's global impact. Even today, the legacy of these moments lives on. Consider the Golden Rule: do unto others as you would have them do unto you. It's a timeless call to empathy and justice, embraced across cultures and philosophies. Similarly, principles of equality, mercy, and responsibility echo in the core values of societies worldwide, shaping institutions, charities, and movements for human rights. Far beyond its spiritual role, the Bible continues to inspire art, music, literature, and education, bridging the past with the present. Whether through its moral teachings or historical influence, it remains a guiding light in a rapidly changing world. As we conclude, let's briefly revisit these 5 extraordinary moments and reflect on their enduring power to challenge, inspire, and transform humanity.